So what better way to kick things off than with some personal remarks from a couple of Boettcher scholars whose life paths exemplify the cornerstones of the selection criteria in action over time. It's in that vein that we'd like to turn things over to 2007 Rocky Mountain High School scholar Annie Reddy, who will be followed by 1964 Rifle High School scholar Russell George.
Thank you, Katie's. And I would like to say, can we give one more round of applause to this team, because opportunities like this do not happen magically. They take a lot of hard work, especially when you're doing it to the Boettcher Foundation standard, which is impossibly high, so please. So as was mentioned, my name is Annie Reddy. I'm a 2007 Boettcher Scholar, graduated from Rocky Mountain High School, go Lobos. Then I went on to the University of Colorado in Boulder, so go Buffs. And now I'm a rising second year at the University of Colorado School of Medicine. My purpose today is to talk a little bit about what the scholarship means to me and what it means to be part of this Boettcher family. So I have a confession. When I was asked to give this talk, I had many reservations. Not only do I have to speak to what is undoubtedly one of the most intimidating audiences I will ever encounter, but I was a little afraid I might inadvertently do something stupid or ill-advised, say, take the advice of the Boettcher interns who said I should screen the really bad music videos that I make in my spare time, which you won't see, I promise. I'm afraid Tim Schultz will come knocking down on my door and ask for a refund. But in all seriousness, the Boettcher Scholarship and the experience of being a Boettcher Scholar has had a tremendous impact on my life. To fully understand the journey that this scholarship has taken me on, I need to first give you a little background. My younger sister and I are children born to Indian immigrants. My parents were born and raised in rural Andhra Pradesh, and my father was the first in his village to go to university and to eventually leave the country for the United States. Both my parents are firm believers in the power of education, and their only dream for their children, their daughters, was to have a quality education. So this was the mantra for my sister and myself growing up: education, education, education. In case you're wondering, now the mantra has slightly changed and includes get married every fifth or sixth time. But part of this dream included that my sister and I attain highly competitive Ivy League educations. So when it came time for me to submit my college applications, I had applied to 7 out-of-state schools and CU Boulder. So you may wonder why, as someone applying for the Boettcher Scholarship, I would limit my in-state options, and the honest answer was this: I didn't intend on staying in Colorado. I was convinced that I had to go to the Ivy League schools to get the quality education that my hard work in high school warranted. Then something happened. The Boettcher Foundation, in a truly Godfather-esque way, made me an offer I couldn't refuse. And suddenly, I had to think, and I mean really think, about what I wanted from my college experience. In the end, I decided I wanted support and community, wanted to be taught by the best of the best. I wanted to be surrounded by people who were motivated, who wanted to make change, and I wanted to find lifelong friends. And I wanted, above all, to accomplish my dream of becoming a physician. So it turns out that every college brochure for every school and every tour, every admitted student day, will tell you that you will get these things at their school. So I was left with still a difficult decision. So I went to CU Boulder and I met the students there. These were smart, congenial, creative, and down-to-earth Boettcher scholars, and I decided I want to be around students like this for the next 4 years. So I turned down my then dream school, Johns Hopkins, to go to CU Boulder, and I've never looked back. I have no doubt that I have made the right decision. So over the course of 4 years, CU more than lived up to their brochure promises, and I found myself sitting in places I never imagined. Sitting in a lecture taught by Nobel laureate Tom Cech, on the coast of Valparaiso learning Spanish, in the epilepsy monitoring unit in the Children's Hospital, in a lab researching novel therapeutics for chronic pain, in a pediatric HIV clinic in Botswana, in Folsom Field, cheering on the Buffs to victory, most of the time. Bungee jumping in Victoria Falls, serving on my first board of directors, and all of it culminating to a day almost exactly a year ago when I accepted my white coat and stethoscope and began medical school. But most importantly, every day, every single day, I had the Boettcher Scholar community, rather this Boettcher family, by my side. So what does this mean to me? It means I gained passage into the family of the best and brightest minds graduating from Colorado high schools and universities for the past 60 years. People who have gone on to be elected officials, doctors, lawyers, Broadway performers, authors. I learned this morning a voice on an animated television show, American Dad. I could go on and on. Many of these folks have stayed in Colorado, becoming the leaders that I interact with on a day-to-day basis. Like Julie Marie Shepard you saw in the video, who's the president of the school board in the district where I live. Or Dr. Larry Allen, who teaches the heart failure courses that I see in medical school lectures. And this morning, another lecturer I learned was a Boettcher scholar, Dr. Ned Kalange. These are people that I see every single day. And my favorite one is my best friend, Abby, who I met at my very own Boettcher orientation in 2007, and who's now my roommate and classmate in medical school. Moreover, with the Boettcher Scholar name, I feel like I'm part of the Boettcher movement to help build Colorado. I feel a sense of pride and ownership every time I walk into the Boettcher Commons at my med school, walk into the Boettcher Atrium at Children's Hospital, or attend a show at the Boettcher Concert Hall. I feel as though I'm looking at my own family name. But most importantly, being a Boettcher Scholar means service. I came into college hoping that I would never truly realize my own insignificance, that I wouldn't realize how small my role was as one of 7 billion people on this earth, that maybe I would come out 4 years later and still be naive and think that I could make a difference. And then this community and this education surrounded me with people who said, there are real problems in the world. Why are you looking to someone else to fix them? And so I graduated with the opposite fear, not of realizing my powerlessness, but instead of realizing my potential. Realizing that when the people around me were saying these words, be the change you want to see in the world, they weren't saying it just to say it. They were saying, do this not simply because you ought to, but because with all you have been given, you absolutely can. This imperative, this drive to be a leader, this desire to serve, more than anything is what the Boettcher Scholarship means to me. And in that same spirit, I ask that we take advantage of this tremendous opportunity before us now, the great privilege to connect with Boettcher scholars past and present, to feel the electricity of having 6 generations of the best and brightest Colorado graduates, and be reminded of those very values that inspired the Boettcher family in 1952 to create this scholarship and create this legacy. So here's to a memorable 75th anniversary. Thank you.